All right, Fresh. Let's go to the Backyard Brawl. I love that we're playing this game again. The Pitt Panthers are traveling to Morgantown, West Virginia, one of our favorite locations in college football. Let's go, Mountaineers. Time to drink some beers. They're playing West Virginia. Pitt is a 1-point road favorite in this game. Kind of shocked me that it's only a point right now. 7:30. This is the game on ABC this week. Over under set at 50 points in this game. I don't even know what to say. Like if West Virginia wins this game, has Coach Brown saved his job?
That's the first thing I have written down. This could be a job saver.
It really could be.
If he gets blown out, he
May lose his job after this.
he might go see the pink slip in his office, or not even make it that far. Like that's how important this game is for these two schools. But that's kind of how far the Neil Brown era at West Virginia has fallen, where people are losing patience. And West Virginia is a very, very, very proud football program. I think we can. They dominated the Big East back in the day. They are a great fan base. They love their football. They love their college sports. They're avid basketball fans too. And at them seeing them fall so far out of it, being in the Big 12 is already sort of weird, where they're more of a Big 10 ACC territory and very distant. They don't have that fan connection with anyone else in the Big 12. It kind of took them off the football landscape, and I think they're still waiting to become that resurgent moment of getting back to it. So this could be that hinge game from that perspective. But when I started looking at it, I started actually looking at Pitt because Phil Jurkovec, who was brought in from BC, reunited with his offensive coordinator, supposed to have this coming off the injury last year, get himself back offensively to going, and he's had a rough start. Only 393 in 2 games passing, completion percentage of 49.1%, but 4 touchdowns and no interceptions. So where do you trade off the no yards and no completions for touchdowns and no interceptions? You run a fine line there. Been sacked 5 times. He sacked 5 times by Cincinnati last week, 6 in total in the season. So no one's protecting him. You don't see the offensive line being tough under Pat Narduzzi, which is really, really, really strange. You're not getting the offensive efficiency for the passing game. The running game, after losing Abakanda last year, where's that coming from? They're trying to reinvent themselves offensively. In the first 2 games, they haven't looked very good. That worries me for Pitt. Defensively, you got smoked by Cincinnati last week. It was 27-7 at one point before you got 2 garbage touchdowns late in the fourth quarter. You got dominated by the Bearcats. Where is his toughness? Where is his defense? A lot of issues right there for Pitt in the first 2 weeks that have got to be fixed before you make the trip to Morgantown, because you're playing a desperate Mountaineers football team who is going to pull out all the stops in a rivalry game. Because last year's opener, it was close. It was close until the late in the fourth quarter where Pitt pulled away. You have a very angry team who's mad they lost that football game. It's a rivalry game. They are dangerous. They are desperate. You come in sleepwalking, you're going to get beat, and they're going to be burning couches all over Morgantown in celebration. You've got to be focused. This is a big environment for Jurkovec and that team to sort of put aside all the noise, get stuff cleaned up, and get it cleaned up quick, because Saturday night could be rough, and it could be really, really bad for Pitt, and that could actually put them on a spiral path out of control. If the ACC is looking pretty good down there in Tallahassee, Miami's flashed, North Carolina's flashing. We thought Pitt could contend, but if you lose this one, even though it's not a conference game, where do the whispers start coming in? The lack of offense, the lack of toughness starts breeding through. Will that become a problem down the stretch? So a big, big game for Pitt and Pat Narduzzi. Can they button down the hatches, and can they get it done on the road? Pitt also allowed 216 yards rushing, and they only ran for 83 last week for Cincinnati. The Bearcats. This is a pride thing for Pat Narduzzi's defense. Where do you get these guys when you put your best 11 on the field and get it squared away? A lot of questions are to be answered for the Pitt Panthers. Will this game be the one they answer them and get themselves right of the ship and put themselves back on the right way? Or does it become a part where maybe it becomes, a 6-6, 7-5 a year because you just don't have the guys. The guys aren't really coached up, or the guys just aren't in the right spots to play. Big questions for this football game. On the other side, Mountaineers, You got smoked by Penn State. You looked very disorganized. You weren't physical. It was bad. I'm going to throw away the Duquesne film because why are we watching film of West Virginia versus Duquesne? Why should that even matter? It shouldn't. So where do you guys show up as a football program? Proud team. You have a great offensive line. Are we going to waste it? Are we going to waste an offensive line with some serious NFL depth and talent on a wasted season? You can't. You've got to play desperate for your head coach. Neil Brown, maybe you have to get out of the way. Just get out of the way. Let the players go out there and play. Let the Garrett Greens, let running back C.J. Donaldson, let wide receiver Hudson Clement, and let wide receiver Devin Carter that put together a game plan themselves and go out there and score points. Maybe you're holding the team back. Maybe you need to be more of a manager and a CEO type and let the other guys do what they have to do to win because your butt's on the line too. If you lose, I mean, the fire can't get much hotter at this point. And this game, if you win it, like we said at the beginning, it could save your job. If you lose it, you might be on the way out before the game is even over. So what team shows up? What team is more desperate? What team is more motivated? What team is more physical in this backyard brawl will win on Saturday night? I hate to go against Pat Narduzzi. I really, really do. But I think the Mountaineers are going to find a way to get the upset. They're going to take care of business. It might be just a one win for Neil Brown in the season that really matters, but the Mountaineers will drink beers, country roads all night long. They are going to get revenge for last year. They're going to pull off the upset. Big, big win for West Virginia Mountaineers on Saturday night.
Oh boy, howdy, fresh. We'll take a look at this. I'm shocked Jerkovich has been so inaccurate for the season. Less than 50% on his completion percentage really shocked me when I started diving into this game. He went 10 for 32 against Cincinnati, but had three of those passes were a touchdown pass. So I guess there's that, that's going for you. Garrett Greens looked great for West Virginia. I mean, and yeah, you take that Penn State loss you take both of their games kind of out. Like, it's two extremes. Do I think they have the talent to compete with Penn State? No. Do I think that they're going to be 10 times better than Duquesne or whatever it is? No. I think they're going to be 10 times better than that program. I think this is the first even matchup. I think Vegas sees that with 1 point spread in this game. Pitt's defense has allowed 216 yards rushing on the season already. I need to see C.J. Donaldson kind of run and attack that defense. But again, if I'm looking at Pitt, you got to help Jerkovich out. Dylan Carter has done almost nothing. He's been the starting running back for the Panthers, and he's done almost nothing. He's been kind of like a ghost of a running back here. And he's got to step up if they want to see Pitt win this football game. I'm with you there, Fresh. I think West Virginia is going to be tasting the moonshine. I think that there's going to be teardrops in their eyes, and they're taking country roads all the way home to a victory in this game. I'm big time on this one. I really think we're going to see Neil Brown get his job saved. And there's this interesting true freshman, Hudson Clement. Five catches for 177 yards and 3 touchdowns. Kid's a big play wide receiver. I know he's a freshman. It's getting excited about a guy who did that against Duquesne. As I'm not going to say that university right once this show. But anyways.
It's French. You'll get it.
Yeah, je parle un peu français. But we sit there and look at these young kids who are going to be coming up into college football. And this is a kid to kind of keep your eye on him. I'm curious, if he continues to do what he's doing in some of these games, does he stay at West Virginia? Does he hit the portal, kind of transfer to a bigger name school? Kind of something similar that we saw happen to Pitt with Jordan Addison. Jordan Addison balled out at Pitt and then took his talents over to the West Coast and balled out with Caleb Williams. I'm interested on that kid. I'm going to be interested to watch his career. I got West Virginia. I think this is going to be a great game to watch because I think that these are two very evenly matched teams. And is this going to be a showcase of a bunch of first-round NFL talent in the skill positions? No. I think this is going to be a game where you just see really good football, two evenly matched teams going back and forth. I think this game is going to come down to the end. Give me the home field advantage. West Virginia fans are some of the best out there. Again, them and Virginia Tech are the two programs I just want to see good things happen for the fan bases. So I got West Virginia winning this game. That 50 number, that's a little nerve-wracking for me to take. I'm going to say the under in that just because neither offense have proved it yet.
I'm taking the over. I just think the defenses are going to be a little lackluster. There's going to be tons of points in a rivalry game.